No one will be able to hurt you after this. If you go through a lot of stress, anxiety, and even that overthinking and restlessness within, understand that it happens for a reason. It happens because internally you are getting attached with things. You're getting attached with what somebody said, what somebody didn't say, what was supposed to happen, and all these stories that you have built around the ego. And Vedanta is very simple and direct. It states as long as you are identified with the ego, as long as you're attached with the ego, you will suffer. The entire world is designed to destroy your ego, to destroy who you think you are. So, no matter what you do, no matter how good things are, ego will always find a way to suffer. And as long as you are identified with your ego, as long as you believe and think that you are the body, mind, and this limited identity, you will keep suffering. This is exactly how to operate from power. This is exactly how to live life where you are unaffected by what others say, what others think of you, and what others do to you. Now, the first fundamental principle is simple. What is suffering within you, what is getting affected when somebody said something or when somebody did something, is something called as ahankara or ego. It is an aspect within you which has this limited identity, which feels that it is this body and mind. The more you can disassociate with the body and mind, with any form of spiritual practice, with devotion, with meditation, self inquiry, and so on, you will begin to create an actual gap between the body, mind, ego, and your awareness. The more you can operate from the space of awareness, the less affected you will be on what others say and what others do. And you get hurt because of expectations, right? Expectations are the beginning of disappointments, and expectations come from ego. Now, detaching ourselves from the ego and operating from a place of self awareness doesn't mean that we are weak, we are passive. There is an ancient story, right? There was a snake, a dangerous snake in the ancient times, which used to harm children, which used to be very, very aggressive, and it used to hurt villagers. And a saint, a monk, was walking in the streets and he saw that snake. And when it tried to attack him, he was absolutely detached. He showed absolute fearlessness. And the snake began having a conversation with this monk, and the monk ends up talking to the snake and he helps him understand why what it is doing is wrong, and it should come from a place of awareness, and it should be patient, and it should be non-violent, and so on. Now, what happens is, after a few years, when the monk comes back to the same village, he asks for the snake, and people say now that snake is in an old cave. And when that monk visits the snake, he sees that it was wounded, it was completely broken, and it was very, very weak. And he asks what happened. And the snake says, after our last meeting, I became extremely non-violent and aware, and people and children started taking advantage of this. They threw stones at me, they started to beat me, and now I'm like this. So the monk says, idiot, I didn't ask you to stay quiet. I just asked you to be aware. I asked you to not attack. I didn't say don't make a sound or don't hiss or don't protect yourself. Right? Sometimes we misinterpret spiritual teachings. When we say go beyond ego, it doesn't mean that we should be a pushover and we need to let others take advantage of us. That's why we talk about being a monk at heart and a warrior in action. From the outside, for the external world, we need to be a warrior. We need to be intense, we need to be disciplined, we need to be consistent, we need to be strong. But internally, we should be flexible, we need to be aware, we need to be detached. So, detachment can truly, truly be the greatest gift that you can give yourself in your life. When you detach from the body, mind, and ego, you detach yourself from all suffering, and joy, happiness, and calm will be the natural outcome. Nothing can hurt you, nobody can hurt you if you can detach yourself from the body, mind, and ego. And the simple thing to do is this: whenever somebody says something or whenever somebody does something, before you react, before you even get hurt, take a conscious pause. Just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and become aware of the situation and see that there is a gap between the ego and you can consciously respond instead of unconsciously reacting. Just a conscious pause for 5 to 10 seconds. This can literally stop you from getting hurt from so many things in life, right? As long as we are attached to things, we are bound to suffer. Once you get detached from the ego, you detach yourself from hurt and suffering.